What is going on, YouTube? Happy Sunday. You are on the lifeboat. It's Captain Calhoun. How is everyone this morning, huh? You know what I don't have? Everything sounds different when I can hear my actual volume. Boom. And we're good. Now we can do the thing that we always do, the way that we always do it. What is going on? I live for now. Sarah Browett, Jason P., Robin Miners. Good morning. Good to see you guys. Today, we're going to talk about intention, the importance of the why. I'm going to get back into roll call here in just a second. But my friend and I were talking about. What were we talking about? Oh, doing pro bono work, which is, if you don't know, doing work for free. And a lot of vocations have this built in, right? Like being a lawyer, being a nurse. I guess technically being a doctor, right? And I think that is important. I think that rites of passage used to be a big deal in society, and they aren't very much so anymore. And pro bono works kind of like a rite of passage. The why are you doing what you're doing? You're doing it for free. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. The why becomes very important. And those kinds of things, rites of passage, doing pro bono work, really drive home the importance of the why. Because why would you be doing it for free if you didn't love it, right? Or if there wasn't a good reason, if there wasn't another reason. And I think that rites of passage are a good thing. I think that we sorely miss them in society. I think that things would work a lot differently um, if pro bono work was more widespread, right? If rites of passage were still a thing, coming of age, right? Because the why you're doing something is very important. And I have to say, why I was doing things for most of my life, there was no why. It was just cause. And I think that led me into a lot of places, down a lot of paths. If I had really nailed down my why early on, I don't think that I would have had as many questions. I don't think that I would have had as many dead ends. I don't think I would have had to turn around so many times. But we're here now. So we're going to talk about the importance of the why, the importance of knowing your intention, um, and maybe talk a little bit about rites of passage and, doing stuff for free. That's also kind of the same as service work, is it not? Doing stuff pro bono, doing stuff for someone else. It's kind of the same thing, right? And so this conversation I was having with Taj really was thought provoking, and I thought, it's been a while since we did intention, so let's put a different spin on it, because he had a whole lot to say. I don't necessarily have all of his words, but we are going to break down what we had discussed. TKK, let's get some ones up for everyone out there that needs them today. TKK, Lynn Sandy, everyone else that needs them. And I'm going to go back through my roll call. Give some people some time to show up while I do that, and we'll do that intro one more time. Lynn Sanity, and good morning. Jason P., Shannon Smith, Sarah Browett, Monk Searcher, Teresa, Carry On, Debbie P., Mocked, good to see you guys. Nico Yeg, I don't know if I've ever said hello to you, but hello, welcome in. Tina, hello. And then sometimes you forget which names you said. Robin Miners, I live for now. Hello. Charlie Mullins, happy belated, good sir. Good sir. Squirrel Girl. What's going on, guys? What is going on? Scrolling. Yeah, the why is very important, y'all. The why is very important. Your intention is going to bleed into every aspect of your life. Oh, it's too hot. I wish the smell of coffee woke me up as much as the taste of coffee. Yeah, the intention. So, for example, Taj and I were talking about pro bono work and rites of passage. He was saying, um, we were kind of, our paths are semi-parallel a lot of the times throughout our friendship. Our paths have been semi-parallel historically, and he has been doing his holistic health work pretty much pro bono for a very long time. He also has been trying to set a value, right, and see how he can make money, right, see what it's worth, but also like deciding his own worth, like what is my worth, what is, the work of my heart worth, kind of thing. And that's been going on for a while. And then we were talking the other day, and he was saying that, I think the time is now. I think that I can step into this space and not do stuff. Not He didn't say not do stuff pro bono, but he said, start to make a decent wage on this stuff. Um, and I thought that was really cool because he deserves it. He has been doing work for free for a very long time. He's been doing. I mean, obviously, he still gets paid, right? He's making a living. He's living, right? But at the same time, he often all the work that he's done for me has been pro bono. And we do a ton of work, not only holistic health stuff, but we do the shadow work and the soul work, and we talk about stuff that's going on in our lives. We do peer support with each other pretty much constantly. And he never asks for anything for that. That's just something that we do, right? But the point is that doing that stuff for nothing for so long has really, he's still doing it. He loves doing it. So it's not a question of, whether or not it's the right thing for him. It's the right thing. Um, and the fact that he's done it for free for so long, now getting paid for it's going to mean something different. It's going to mean a whole lot more. And also, there's no questions inside him. I mean, he obviously has questions about all kinds of stuff. But what I mean by that is that he is certain of his path. He knows exactly who he is, where he's going, right? He doesn't necessarily know when he's going to make it there or like what the path's going to look like, right? But he knows what his purpose is, and he's doing it. And that's what matters. That's what matters. Living in your purpose and in your brain fart makes you shiny. It makes you shiny when you're happy. Remember, we talk about being in your joy. When you're doing your purpose, when you're living your life like the way it's meant to be lived. And when I say the way it's meant to be lived, that's unique to each and every one of you. We all have our own unique strengths, skills, passions, interests. But when you really dial in who you are, and then you live in that space and you live that life, things are much easier. Things are much better. You look better. You feel better to yourself and to everyone around you. There's a magnetism to being in your purpose, in your intention. When your intention and your purpose align, magical things happen. So, what is your purpose? What are your strengths? What are your unique passions and interests? Right? What is it that makes Jason P. Jason P? What is it that makes Blake Richardson so darn awesome? No, what's going on, Blake? What is it that makes Blake Blake, though? Right? What is so uniquely Blake? And that's what we're talking about. Um, I guess those are two different concepts: intention and knowing oneself, but they go hand in hand. Um, 'Cause if you don't know who you are, how can you set your intentions properly, right? If you don't really dig into yourself and dive in and find out and love yourself, what's the point even? Panda Kelly, what is going on? Kristen Melinda, Mischief Managed, haven't seen you in a while. Welcome in. Body Illusion. Do 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 do. JBZ, hello, hello. Sarah says the thing that makes it hard isn't about his worth or what his heart is worth, because the true value would likely be beyond affordability. But if he was to name a price, what aligns to him? Exactly. I mean, yeah, we're not. Life is priceless, and our unique differences are priceless as well, I believe. But when I say set value, you understand. But that is a good distinction to make. That is a good distinction to make because his value is limitless. But I mean, our value to other people, right? Like, how am I gonna do services for money as a job and then not like set a value? How am I not gonna? You have to. And And I don't think a lot of people realize that you set your own value. You get to be like, all right, this is how much this is going to cost. And my natural reaction, I'm a very nice guy. I don't want to overcharge, and my understanding and relationship with money is pretty subpar. So, I'll give it away. That's something that I do. But it's easy for me to give away the farm. It's easy for me to give too much. So setting the value properly is important. I often will undersell myself because whatever, I'm getting more out of it anyways. I'm like, it's serving my soul to do what I do. So why do I need to set the value properly? But it is important. It's super important to set the value properly because otherwise you're just saying no to blessings. And we say yes to those. We say, yes, thank you. Thank you for the blessings. Sharon Dixon says, I do tarot work and healing. I charge what you can afford and what it means to you. That is exactly what we're talking about. Sometimes this translates into vegetable curry or something similar. I am happy with this. And this is often what Taj would do with his holistic work. Like super, super duper awesome guy. But this is this sliding scale, I guess is what they call it, right? Like pay what you can kind of thing. But yeah, at some point, I feel like this transitions into something else. I feel like this is the rite of passage part that Sharon's talking about. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like that's and maybe it never transitions. Maybe we stay in this zone, and the beautiful universe or whatever powers it be provides. I don't know. I mean, I guess it has provided thus far. I seem to be all right. So maybe it's okay to just do it like that. But the point is, the importance of intention and knowing why you're doing things. If I'm doing if I do something, we all know how it feels to do something that we don't like doing. We all know that we're doing something we don't like doing. It doesn't necessarily turn out the same as when we like doing it, right? The finished product is certainly a lot better when I'm having fun or when I'm passionate than when I really don't want to do something. I think that, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I think that's a human thing. I don't think that's a Michael thing. So that being said, your intention is in charge of all that, right? Now, it's not so easy to shift your intention from I really don't want to do this to we're going to do this. Woohoo. That's not necessarily so easy. But knowing these things, thinking about these things, you can gradually start chipping away at the brain and your intention and your perspective and slightly shift that a little over here, a little over here, a little over here. And then finally, you're going to be in a position where things are moving more fluidly. Your life's feng shui, everything's going to flow a lot better when you're living in your purpose and your intention. Howdy, Otter Dance. What's going on? Izzy E, what is going on? Hope you're feeling better. Robin Miner says, no one should ever negotiate for themselves. We always shoot too low. What a novel concept. I've never thought about that. But that, I guess, is intelligent business right there, huh? Auntie Robin coming in clutch. Me some smokes. What's going on? Good to see ya. Have a great day, Mischief. It's my fault. I'm off time today. I'm on an off time, but it's Sunday. We're gonna mix it up, whatever, right? I mean, it's hard for me to say whatever. I know that people were expecting me at 7, and I feel a little bad about that. But we're here now. We're here now. I'm not going to live in the past. Izzy E had an interview catching up on my cruise life, my cruise happenings. Nico Yeg says, I'm an adult child of an alcoholic addict, spent 13 years with a controlling narcissist, 7 years out, and I'm still figuring me out. This past year has helped. It's a work in progress. It's definitely a marathon and not a race. There's a whole lot to learn. There's a whole lot to sift through, And we're complicated beings. You know, we're emotional, we're logical, we're meat sacks, we're also spiritual in some degree. You know, there's a whole lot going on inside of us. So, you know, give yourself some grace, be patient, and know that you're doing a great job, Nico. I'm glad you're here with us. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, JBZ. JBZ tells me that I'm a gift and that she values my ideas. That makes me feel really warm inside. I sometimes, I shouldn't say sometimes, often I feel like I'm not good enough. But that's also, I think, just a human. That's just part of being a human. I totally am good enough, and you know, I'm just right. In fact, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm just right. It's fine. I'm exactly how I'm supposed to be. But I definitely don't feel that way all the time. Um, Spanx boat, Spanx boat, Spanx boat. Energy exchange. I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, you know, I could tell from the very, very start of when I started doing this that the crew that I would end up with, the people that would gravitate towards me, were going to be into this kind of stuff. And it's so hard for me to talk about this kind of stuff sometimes because it's not really aligned with a lot of previous boat stuff, but it is so aligned with our paths and recovery. And like, dude, I'm telling you, this is really important stuff. And if we can somehow get this message to the people that it's harder for like the people that have a harder time hearing it, that would be cool too. I mean, obviously we want to reach as many people, but I think a lot of people have a hard time hearing energy exchange and spirituality, and which is fine. To each their own. Um, but the message I have today is about intention, you know. But it's also about like who you are on the inside, who you truly are, and how you'd like to move through this world and represent yourself. Guess someone's up for seventh. What's going on with seventh? How's he doing? I haven't seen. I guess I saw him yesterday, didn't I? I'm pretty darn certain. But anyways, one's for the seventh son. I hope he's doing well. I hope he's all right. Dang, Jason, what I wouldn't give to go to Comic Con and hang out with you guys. That would be so much friggin' fun. The next time I'm in the area, I'm gonna have to give you a shout, dude. I also do better with animals, Lynn. I mean, I'm not bad with people. Like, I'm pretty good with people, but animals are just so much easier. They love you. They just love me. I uh, I have this blessing slash curse. No matter what, the animals are gonna like me. If they have enough time, like to get work through their own stuff, they're going to love me. Sometimes they don't have any stuff to work through, which is really interesting. It's a kind of a interesting comparison. So like people go through stuff, right? I like to say if everything was right in their world, they wouldn't be acting poorly, right? They wouldn't be acting like that. Well, if I have a bunch of stuff that I need to work through to be a good human, the dog just is a good dog. You know what I mean? Sometimes a dog's been abused or something, right? And then it might be a little shy or a little scared, or it might not know exactly how to feel about you. But you can tell the dogs that haven't been treated that way don't have that fear, don't have that anxiety, that nervousness. They just are good dogs, which is interesting, super duper interesting to me. Um, in I don't want to compare humans to dogs, but I'm going to. um, in that regard, the regard of just like working through trauma, we are very similar. Um, the body language is the same. Uh, the it's hard to imagine, but the expressions, the facial interactions, like the eye, like what's going on in the eyes, is the same as people, which is super, super curious. But animals are much easier. They're simple, or not simple, but they're simpler than us. We're definitely more complicated biological structure. We're more complicated beings, period. But the process to work through the trauma with the dog is the same, except they don't write in journals. They don't do this and they don't do that. But with animals, they need to learn new. They need to learn a new novel concept, right? A new novel way. What they've known is abuse and mistreatment, but they need to learn that there's other ways out there. They need to learn that that's not how we do things anymore. They need to learn that that's not how everyone is, and that's not how you have to feel when you're with me. So I think that that's very interesting. I think it's super duper interesting. Obviously, the dogs aren't going to write in the journals, but the lesson is the same, right? They need to change their perspective. They need to, broaden their horizons and their understanding, and shift their behavior. It's crazy, right? I can't believe I just pulled that metaphor out of my butt, but I am standing behind it. I like it a lot. I hope you guys like it too. I like this a lot. Sharon, animals are easier because they live in the now. It is all love. Love is the universal language. Everyone understands love. Cats are a little more complicated, I feel like, than dogs, but maybe that's just me. My dad definitely seems to be the cat whisperer. Maybe she'll come around, Blake. Maybe she'll come around. Unconditional love is the only love, Shannon. The only real love. Mm, it's drinkable now. Does that say baby pygmy hippo? Hold on. You did. Speaking of animals, saw a baby pygmy hippo today. Ridiculously adorable. I love dogs, but a cat purring is the best sound. Was that in the wild or at the zoo, Sarah? Because I can only imagine a baby hippo to be wildly cute. Like if there was a cute meter, I think the baby hippo might break it. The cute meter might just explode. It's not like built to measure that amount, that sheer magnitude of cuteness. Rick Spicer, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. This is a good thing, Body Illusion. Body Illusion says, as for myself, when I decide what a goal is, I get tunnel vision and go through the steps to get where I want to be. I wish I could just flip a switch easy to do that. It's not necessarily that easy for me all the time. Sometimes I can laser vision in, but often I just drag my feet. I'm a professional feet dragger. I've got really heavy feet. Lord Kiss Freak. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Blake. Making you sad. I wonder. I wonder. So, like with cats, I never know. Like, I don't know. Like, does she not like that I picked her up? Like, does she not like the way I held her? Does she not like the way I smell all of a sudden? Like, I never know. I never know what the deal is. Um, so I just try to like let them be independent, and then sometimes they come around, right? Sometimes they'll come sniff me when I'm not paying attention. But I feel like there's a threshold once like a cat can cross into this zone where like uh, like if I'm paying attention to them, they won't pay attention to me. And when they enter that zone, you have to like ignore them. And again, I don't really know. Cats are a mystery to me, but I feel like I've entered this zone with all the cats that I've ever known at one point, and then just had to ignore them until they were ready, and then things changed. But that's another like reason I don't have a cat. There's a lot of reasons I don't have an animal, but the hot and cold thing really kind of bugs. But I get it. I mean, you're an independent little kitty, right? Whatever, do your thing. That's cool. Jason P says TLB has had such a profound impact on my life. It has helped me come to the realization of the importance of getting to know yourself. Thanks to you all for being such enlightening and amazing people. Well, heck yeah, Jason, thanks for being here. I'm glad that it's having such a positive impact on your life. That's what it's all about for sure, right there. Heck yeah, dude. And I think you're a pretty neat guy. I think the more you get to know yourself, the more stoked on life you're gonna be, dude. You know? Not that you're not already. You seem pretty stoked on life already, which is, you're ahead of the game, dog. You're doing great. ASAP Lizzie, good to see ya. Scrolling. I'm so far up. What do I want to do with my life tomorrow? And work towards that. That's what it's all about. Just one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. If we look at the big picture, it's going to be intimidating. So just focus on what's right in front of you. Lynn, that makes a lot of sense. Lynn Sanity says, in my opinion, cats are a lot like women. That makes a lot of sense. And women are also a mystery to me. That's probably what it is, Blake. Blake says, I used to actually walk her around the house draped over my shoulder before all the crap happened. It's probably all the stuff that happened that kind of shook her reality a little bit. I bet you if you give her time, especially if the crap's not happening anymore, right? If things have kind of subsided, I bet you give it time and it'll come to a more normal zone. The cat might not ever be exactly like it was, because now it has experienced whatever it's experienced, right? But it should be able to normalize. I often notice that my reactions will swing to the other extreme, and then I'll land somewhere in the middle, like a fancy analog scale. You know what I mean? Like when you step on the scale, it's like, "Woo, you're too heavy." No, I'm just kidding. I'm never heavy enough. Actually, the scale never tells me that I'm too heavy, and I wish that it would at least once, man. It's hard for me to gain weight. But I could try harder. I try pretty friggin' hard, but I could definitely try harder. Losing my train of thought. The and I thought I had it bad before. The downstairs neighbors are the loudest of all of them, and they're the ones that recently moved in. I can't tell what's going on down there, but like for all I know, they're just shutting the front door. But it feels like dudes throwing weights at the ceiling. Like the whole building will shake when they fucking go in. Pardon me. Lord Almighty, forgive me. It's frustrating though. Every day, all day long, the kids screaming, the doors slamming, and the dude's like a big, scary convict type. It's like, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna have to literally put up with this. So that's kind of cool. I'm pretty stoked on that. These guys and these guys don't even make a peep anymore. They like heard the sound of a real monster and they're like, okay, maybe we shouldn't act like that. I probably shouldn't talk about people like that, but man, I can only imagine. I'm sure that the sound is distorted, right? But I shouldn't have to feel you coming home from work in my legs and my floor and my desk and my kitchen and my bedroom. Coach Lisa E, what is going on? Yo, I will take all that poundage, body illusion. Just send it right over. It's been months now, Blake. No change. Only way I can get her is if I was to chase her. I'm not going to do that. Well, yeah, of course not, right? Well, dang. Well, dang. I'm sending you and your kitty all my love, Blake. Sorry to hear all that. At the very least, we now know, right? At the very least, this is something we'll never forget, most likely. Which isn't necessarily a happy thought, but it is positive at the very least. Might have some dark edges, but it's positive. Trisha Briggs, hello, hello, welcome in. I'm glad you're here. Rise higher, hello. Just wanted to say hi and look up. I may or may not look that up. Thanks for suggesting that. Amy Edge, what is going on? My goofy dog just came running up to the TV and started barking at you. I don't know if he was upset that you're talking about cats or he just wanted to say hi. Well, hello there, pupster. I'm a big fan. Big fan, I have to say. That is pretty impressive, JBZ. Mick Jagger and Keith Richards at 80 making a new record. That is pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. I wonder what it's going to sound like. I wonder what they have to talk about after all these years. Or sing about, I guess. I used to skate a bunch, Rick, back in the day. I wish I still had a skateboard. I'd probably ride it. Although the way that the ground is out here, the roads and the sidewalks and stuff, it's probably not a great place to be skateboarding. Yeah, skateboarding was a huge component of my teen years. It says ASAP Lizzie. You and me both. I tell you what. I tell you what. I wonder if you guys can see in the camera. Oh, yeah, it's right there. There's a tiny little scar right here. I don't know if you can see it. I can barely see it, but it's like a white line. I I hate how the camera is reversed. It always is over here in the mirror, but no, it's right here. I was learning how to drop in on coping. So you have the board with the wheels against the coping on the board on the concrete, and you just put your weight down and slam down in, right? I was learning how to do that, except I was doing the roll in and I was rolling in on coping. I had been doing it the day before. We were on a skate park tour. Me and my buddy after work were going to hit different skate parks every day until we had hit everything in the valley because in Utah there's a ton. And we were at Harriman Skate Park, and man, I woke up on the ground. I went to drop in, and just that was the last thing I remember was leaning forward with all my weight, and I had like it's kind of hard to see, but it's a pretty sweet scar. In person, it's loud. It's really loud in person, but I like busted my face up and broke my arm. I didn't realize that I had broken my arm until we had gotten back to Hayden's house. I was like looking in the mirror, like kind of like, do I need to go to the hospital? And I totally broke my arm that day, but I also scarred my face. I have had quite a few injuries skating. Actually, I have a lot of skating scars. A lot. We were usually smoking and drinking when we were skating too. We were definitely not your not your preppy type skateboarders. Which is kind of funny. There was a lot of preppy skateboarders in California where I lived, which is strange, so weird. Which is cool. I mean, we were friends, but it's just that wasn't my scene. That wasn't my crowd. Definitely not easy on the body. Yeah, I there was a lot of things that I really liked doing that were terrible for my body, and I'm paying for it now. I'm only 32. I imagine what it's going to feel like 20 years from now. Trying to take really good care of me now for that outcome. Sharon, that's hilarious. Sharon says my son came home from university with all his skater jeans. I decided to surprise him by tidying all the tears and hems. 26 years later, he still has not forgiven me. Yep, I think that's super funny. I totally get it. Um, my grandma and I have had that almost exact same interaction. Except when I expressed my distaste, um, she took it as ingratitude, and now she will continue. I don't know if it's because she doesn't understand or if it's just because that's how she is and she's, stuck in her old ways, but she will do what she's going to do. And if you don't like it, she just won't tell you about it. Like she'll throw away my socks when they get old. Uh, yeah, she just has her way with my stuff for sure. Grandma knows best whether she does know best or not, actually. But that's okay. I accept. She's done a lot for me. The least I have to the rips in my jeans and the holes in my socks are the least I have to worry about, right? I was trying to think of a specific example. There was something that she like ruined or got rid of or threw away that was like literally perfect. It was supposed to be that way. Can't remember what it was, but it was really really important to me at the time. It obviously wasn't that important in the grand scheme because I can't even remember what it was. But yeah, curious and curiouser. When I moved to Indiana, good to see you, Sanitarium. When I moved to Indiana after being in SoCal at the beach for 40 years, I finally felt at home. I am country, not fancy. Interesting. I do like the feel, the smell, the taste of the air by the beach in California. It's nice. But there is something about the Midwest. For me, when I moved to Illinois, it felt really good. I did like it there. It felt very nice. Escorted out of towns. That's pretty wild. Like you'd think that y'all were running around with six shooters on your hips, just literally running around with a board with wheels on it. They can't, they can't handle us. Used to be a competitive roller skater. I think that's pretty sweet. I one of my buddies back in the day, his uncle did roller derby, which is like roller skate racing, but also there's like a contact aspect. Like people, like, I don't know, I don't really know, but it's pretty sweet. It's pretty awesome. And my homie's uncle was way into it. He was on a team. It was his thing. And we used to do a lot of that myself, body illusion. We used to do a lot of stuff with cars that we probably shouldn't have been doing. I remember when I was young and dumb, we would drive around and smoke. And yeah, you're probably thinking, I'm smoking a joint or smoking, something that's supposed to be smoked in a car. No, we were passing around a multiple foot water pipe. And when it's the driver's turn, the passenger just kind of, we were stupid. We were super dumb back in the day. And, if you're doing anything illegal in the car, you're just adding charges on, right? Because now there's a doing something while driving or, reckless driving, or now there's going to be an automobile charge on top of whatever stupid stuff you were doing in the car to begin with. So let that story be a lesson to you out there. Don't do illegal stuff in the car. Just don't do illegal stuff at all, right? But um, you know, the car is trouble. The car will get you in trouble for sure. The car definitely got me in trouble. The car definitely got me in trouble a lot back in the day. I didn't even have a license. That's probably because I was getting in trouble all the time. Roller skates that clipped onto your sneakers. Carry on. Where do I get a pair? That's pretty cool. Never get them to stay on. Oh, well, that's a bummer. I used to have roller blades, the ones that are inline skates, I guess is what they're called. And I was getting decent at those, pretty decent. Yeah, there was a when I was in second or third grade, they built a skate park in the parking lot of my elementary school. Imagine that. I was a skater after that. One of my really good buddies would take the inline skates that he had to the skate park, and that was what he would do. Ben was an inline skater, and I would do the skateboard thing at the skate park. But he inspired me to try my inline skates because I was inline skating before I was skateboarding at the skate park. But man, I tell you what, it was scary. It definitely felt a lot easier than the skateboard did. The fire drill at stoplights, yeah, we used to do that too. And you know what's funny? The only reason that I did this is because I'm pretty sure I witnessed my mom and my uncles do it or something. I witnessed some family members do it one time. It was for a purpose. Like they weren't doing it just for fun. Somewhere between the sacred silence and sleep, disorder, disorder, disorder. There's always that stop having so much fun clause. You know, I'm a big fan of just keep having all the fun. You know, as long as we're headed in the right direction, I think we should do so in a joyous manner. What do you think about that? You know, I thought that I was going to have more details on this topic today, but I guess I'm going to have to talk with Taj again to refresh my memory on the concepts here. But you guys get it, right? The intention is super important. The why of why you're doing what you're doing is going to change what you're doing. It's going to change the way you do it. It's going to change the way it looks when you're done. It's going to change the way it feels while you're doing it. It literally, the why dictates everything. The why dictates how it's going to feel, how it's going to look. The why dictates uh, the why is of utmost importance. I think the why might even be the root of it all, like why we do what we do. Debbie P, I did not, and I know I missed you yesterday. I promise I'm going to get in there today. All right. In fact, I'm gonna pull it up right now. I'm sorry, Debbie. I promise I didn't forget about you. I'll get on the phone with you today. I can get on the phone for an actual phone call if you'd like. I would love to bring Taj on the show. Um, And you know, honestly, when I go to Hawaii in November, you most likely will get Taj on the show. I'm going to be spending about 2 weeks with the guy, and we're going to be doing our morning shows. Half of the trip is going to be in the middle of the festival. I don't know if that's the right way to say that. Half of the time is going to be, my time is going to be like the second week. What I'm trying to say is that I'm out there for 2 weeks. The second week is probably if he's willing. I'm sure he's willing, but if he's willing, we'll get him on the second week. The first week is going to be all business. It's not going to be all business, but and I will be doing shows every morning, every day when I'm out there. Maybe we'll do the evening shows. I don't know exactly the configuration, but I will be live every day when I'm out there. But the point is that you most likely will get to see Taj while I'm there as well. And he most likely has some really awesome things to say. He's also going to be starting a YouTube channel, so you guys can get to know him on a more personal level yourselves when he does so. I told him when I come out there, I'm going to help you get started and show you what you need to do, and what the important details are. And I know you're going to do great. And he's all about it. He's really excited. That's the part that I forgot. Well, one of the parts. Through talking about pro bono work and um, service, what am I trying to say? Rites of passage. We started talking about YouTube, and he said, I think I'm gonna start doing a YouTube channel. And I told him I think the intention is very important, and that's what started this whole conversation that we had about intent, the why, and rites of passage and whatnot. Good morning, Goddess Divine. Good to see you. Thank you for your support, Kathy. My brain is a little bit all over the place this morning. I'm pretty sure that this is Tool, a Tool lyric, Sanitarium. I'm a big fan of Lane Staley and Alice in Chains for sure. Peggy Dooley, good morning. Welcome in. Yeah, I tried to sing it subtly right there, and that was about as good as it gets. You know, a little half ass falsetto. You guys make me happy. You know that? You guys totally like fill me up in the mornings. Like if my cup wasn't full, it now is. Did you know that? My cup was half something and now it's full. My cup was doing what it was doing, but now it's just full to the brim. Mock says I finally got closer to a rabbit hole derived from my why. Do share, do tell. Izzy E says I've always seen the why framed as this grand project, thus calling this calling that should steer your entire life. I'm reminded that it's okay for your why to be because it brings me joy. Yeah, exactly. And this is a great point. Your why doesn't have to be some grand aspiration. It can be very simple. And your why from this moment to next moment can change, right? We're not talking about one great overarching why. And there's definitely two concepts at play here, the knowing myself and the knowing my intentions. Um, but yeah, your intentions can be just as simple as because it makes me happy. And often that's a great reason to do something, honestly, because you deserve some happiness, especially when we're stressed, we're anxious, we're struggling, whatever's going on. Happiness has a purpose, and that's to bring us back. That's to bring us back to ourselves. That's to bring us back to a good place. That's to bring us back to our purpose and our intention. But I also have this feeling, this concept in my head, Izzy, of this calling that should steer my entire life. And that is partly what I'm talking about, right? But that doesn't have to be, I mean, if you can find this calling, right, that's driving your entire life, I think that your life will change when you find it, right? But it doesn't, I'm not trying to say that, that's the end all be all. There's definitely a why in every little moment, in every little action, right? Why do I cut the show early sometimes? Well, because I'm really hungry. I skipped breakfast, there's a why there, right? Um, there's always a why. Kathy Qwin gifting the memberships. Thank you so much. Well, heck yeah, mocked. I sometimes the rabbit holes are deeper than they originally appear, so just be careful. Well, I'm super glad you're here, Linsanity. I'm super sorry to hear about all that stuff that's going on. If you also want to reach out, if you need to talk or anything like that, I'm here for you as well. Yeah, man. Now I'm thinking about it again. That's terrible. It makes me mad. But I'm going to try not to express anger on the show. But yeah, screw that guy. I want to beat him up, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do that. It's not good to beat people up, people. It's not a good thing to do. But the desire is there sometimes. I think we all have that desire now and again. It's like, I just want to put my fist through that person's face. But the important thing is that we tell that thought, no, no, I'm going to do something else about it. Blake, well, I love it when you're here, and I hope that this amazing feeling that you've discovered since arriving today carries with you um, for a very long time. I hope it carries with you at least to the end of the day, maybe even bleeding into tomorrow. That would be pretty cool. Got that time release joy over here, Blake. We got that joy on tap, baby. You know, when I hit the tap, rainbows come out. That's how I'm feeling this morning. Just full of gratitude and rainbows. All right, maybe it's a good time to call it. Hit that like, subscribe, and I was going to do a bell. Hit the bell for notifications because it makes a big difference, and we love it. We love it. You guys have a great day. Thank you for hanging out with me. Um, it's always a pleasure. We'll do it again tomorrow. Check out the Admiral this evening at 7 p.m. Pacific time. There's another one. And maybe it is on this side and I'm just confused. I don't know. Anyways, got me looking in the mirror over here on my stream. All right. You guys have a wonderful day. Be blessed. You are blessed. We are blessed. Yeah. And it's Sunday, people. Treat yourself. Treat yourself to something nice. Treat yourself to something selfish, just for you. And Captain Calhoun out. I'll see you soon. There was one question. Did Tommy catch the Rona? No, he did not. Tommy's good. All right, y'all. Much love.